And so this next speaker is, many of you know and love her. I sure do. Sommer Blackburn. And she achieved the rank of platinum last week. Now, they both earned an additional $500 Pure Rank bonus on top of all of their other bonuses with this achievement. I literally just asked Sommer to be on here very last minute. And so thank you, Sommer. If you guys don't know, she has 4 little ones and getting prepped, I think, to homeschool the majority of them. So she's got a little bit of a crazy life. And she's agreed to jump on and share a little bit of her story. For those of you who don't know, Sommer's story is amazing. And Sommer, I want to tell you this before we start. First of all, congratulations. But
Thanks.
Secondly, don't hesitate to share your story, because I know when I first got started, I would feel like, oh my gosh, I just shared this last time I was on. Like, really, you want to hear it again? And so Sommer's been in for a little bit longer than Osanubi, so I know there's a lot of times that some people on here maybe have heard Sommer's story before, but there's many who haven't. And so, and her story is phenomenal. So I'm excited for you guys to hear a little bit from her. So Sommer, just like I asked Dr. O, what is it about Pure that made you decide to join? What is it about Pure that made you decide to share? And why is it that you're still so passionately sharing and setting goals and achieving them? I think it's almost a year and a half after you got involved, but you can tell us more about that. So go ahead.
Thanks, Rachel. Can you hear me okay? Okay. Thank you so much for asking me just a little while ago to be on the call. I appreciate that. Let's see. So it has been a year and a half ago. I am really good friends with Lindley Paskey. We have been since we were in high school. I've been longer friends with her husband, David, and twin brother, Josh. So I feel like I've known the Paskey family for a long time. But about a year and a half ago, my husband and I and our 4 children, we live in Houston. It had kind of come to that point where Joby wasn't quite saying that I had to go back to work, but that an extra stream of income sure would be nice and helpful for our large family. And our youngest was going to a 5-day program, so I would have a little bit of time on my hands because I'd been doing babies for so long. And then literally right after we had that conversation, I found out that I had to have a full hysterectomy. So like, how can you look for a job? I'm going to be laid up, they said, for 4 to 6 weeks. We do have these small children. Who would ever hire me? I haven't worked in 12 years. My resume, I didn't know where a resume was. I was very, very fearful with anxiety, like up to here. And he just said, you know, like, take this time to heal and we'll start exploring like maybe what some of your options were. I was having some complications. I was in the doctor's office and I saw a random post from Lindley on Facebook, and she was talking about a scary moment of jumping off somewhere and tackling her fears. And I was super confused. I didn't know what she was talking about. I knew that Lindley had a small business with actually another mutual friend of ours, and it prompted me enough for me to hit message. And I messaged her immediately from my doctor's office waiting room. And I was like, what are you doing? I'm so confused, but by the way, you look amazing. She had lost so much weight. She looked so good. And Lindley was just very vague about this new company she was with. And she just said, hey girl, let's get on the phone and talk. The next day she called me. We caught up for like over an hour. And I know that it was nothing shy of God putting us together. And I shared with her like my health problems, the scare that we had had, that I was literally on the line of cancer. We felt very blessed that our story had turned out pretty good. I told her the stresses that we were having. There's a whole separate testimony I could give y'all about my son, but we were looking at a program for my son that was $22,000 for just a couple of months of intent, like in a very intense program for his severe dyslexia. I didn't know where that money was going to come from. Joby wanted me to work. I didn't know what I was going to do. And Lindley was like, okay, wait a minute. There's like a way bigger picture of why we're supposed to be on the phone. And she started sharing with me, I'm going to send you some videos. You remember David's big sister, Rachel? Yes, I do. I want you to hear from her. And I'm telling y'all that every single thing clicked for me. And I just knew that we had to say yes. And Joby and I talked about it. And he was like, well, I mean, do whatever Lindley tells you to do, and it, because we can consume all the products. It can't be bad for us. I need to lose some weight. We need to get healthy and make your money back in a month. Oh, okay. So I jumped in with a big pack because that's what Lindley did. And she said, when you get those 3 boxes, you'll freak. And I want you to call me and I'll walk you through it. And I'm telling y'all, like, I was scared to death, but I trusted her enough not to lead me down a wrong path. I followed what she told me to do. Within days, we started seeing differences, not only like in our health. My husband lost 8 pounds like in a week. He started sleeping better. We were almost afraid to talk to each other, that if we said it out loud, like, is this like a placebo effect? But one morning we're going, hey, I feel pretty amazing. Do you? And we did. And then I started getting on the Changing Lives Facebook group, and I started exploring ideas about my son. And I read testimonies of other moms that felt just as much like I did with him. Like, how do I help them? And this rat race of trying different ADHD medications is like a horrible life to live in, and the success they had. And I was like, hey, like, we're going to do this with my son. We cold turkey took him off his medication. We started this new program. We started seeing amazing things with my with my son. Joby did the detox. He lost 26 pounds in 28 days, 2 pant sizes, sleeping through the night, feeling great. All his joint pains from football went away. And I don't forget how many months in it was, but I realized that I didn't have a headache or a migraine, and I've suffered from migraines for over 30 years, guys. For 14 years, I was on an antipsychotic medication called Topamax, which, if anyone knows anything about Topamax, Rachel, I'm sure you do, it is a hard drug to be on. It takes a month just to get into a loading dose. The side effects are like, I mean, they're endless and very strong and severe. I'm completely off Topamax after 14 years. I'm on no longer pain medications. I haven't had a headache, a migraine, anything in over a year now. I mean, our health testimonies are just unbelievable, but our financial that I just didn't seem, I mean, Lindley has an amazing story, and that's not my story, but my story, I'm super proud of what I've been able to accomplish. That my first goal, Rachel was the one that told me how to do a vision board. I'd never heard of a vision board, but she told me to dream with my kids and dream big and have fun. And we started jotting stuff down. And I needed $22,000 to pay for my son's school, which 1 month, like my first payment was $1,200. So after 30 days, I paid off my investment. I'm here to tell y'all that my very next paycheck was like $1,245. And so if that's not God, I don't know what it is, that I was able to pay for that, and I was able to pay for it all the way through. We wanted, my husband, he's always dreamed of this Ford F-250. Well, it's parked in our driveway right now. I really wanted to hit platinum. And when then also Lindley told me that Little Italy was on the board, that has been my dream, to take my husband to Italy. And I think it was in March that I hit Italy. I'm going to Italy. Like, I cannot believe that.
You are.
I mean, Rachel all the time would send me weekly going, Summer, you have this many points. And I'd be like, okay. And I'd jot it down and be like, I'm really good at selling Be Healthy packs. That's my favorite pack to sell. I can really sell those. I'm not very good at the large packs, I'll be honest with you. Every once in a while, I'll find somebody, but I just went after it. And she'd say, okay, now you're this close to it. And I just could not believe when it happened. I mean, Lindley was there when I did it. Kristen Hendricks was there. Josh was there when it happened. Rachel was there. It was such a party, a big emotional thing. I couldn't believe that I hit that. And then always platinum. Platinum was on there that I just really wanted to do for myself. And last week I hit platinum. So I'm really proud of that. And now that I've clicked that box, I mean, it's all the way to diamond, and I can't wait. And Lindley and Kristen had me on a call last week that I didn't go fast and furious, and that's okay. It has been over a 18-month span, but I have to look back and say, Summer, you've done some really amazing things. And one of the biggest things is I've changed my family's health forever. We're dreaming together, and I've changed a lot of lives of people's health. And that just makes me feel so great. And whether they're just customers, I have a lot of customers, but I have a lot of, business builders too. And, like I said, I don't have the fast and furious, like hitting diamond and these big ranks and stuff, but I'm really proud of what I've been able to accomplish. And I'm so thankful to Lindley. I'm so thankful to Rachel and Josh and Kristen. And I'm not even on Kristen's team, but she helps me so much. And the Pure family. I got a letter in the mail today that I went into tears from everybody up at corporate. Just, they're watching us. They see what we do. They're proud of us. They're encouraging us. And it just makes me want to keep going and going and going for more goals. So that's my story.
Meanwhile, I'm bawling over here.
I am too. I cry every time I say it. It's really, man, I never knew that God had this in store for me. I'm just a stay-at-home mom with 4 kids, but this has given me, and I shared with a friend today who's looking at the business, and I just said it gives me a great outlet to do something that like I'm passionate about now. I have a fire for. I love sharing the products, and you asked me to share, like, that's why. I mean, I love it. I love sharing the products, and if somebody else could experience a fraction of what my family has experienced, it's worth me opening my mouth.
Wow. Okay, so any tips, Summer, after going through this for 18 months? And first of all, never say that you're just a stay-at-home mom of 4 kids. That's like the hardest job in the world all by itself. But there's a lot of people who have quit at the 18-month point because they haven't hit platinum and they haven't hit the goals they thought they would achieve. Their health might be great, but they've given up because they think, well, I can't do what those people can do, you know? And so they think maybe it's for them, but it's not for me. The products are for me, but I'm not going to share anymore because it's just, I can't do it. So any tips that you have for anybody who might be in those stages?
Yeah. There's many times that I felt that way too. And Rachel, you and I got on a call the week before I hit platinum because I was kind of in a downslope. I mean, not every week is roses and it's feeling good. You feel defeated and you see all these people hitting ranks and you try not to compare yourself, but you're like, I want that. Like, it's okay to have heart's desires, and be honest with your upline. I'm very, very close to Lindley. We talk every day as friends, but also she is my upline, and I share with her, I'm feeling frustrated. I want this. And I pray about it. And then Lindley's like, I need to put you with Rachel. And then y'all talk with Rachel. Tell her that you're frustrated. I told you that, Rachel. Is like, I'm not happy where I am. I want more. And I'm sure Rachel loves to hear that. She's our leader. And Rachel said, okay, well, I'm going to throw you a ball. And if you throw it back, we'll see. And she gave me some points to do. And the next week I hit platinum. And that might not happen for everybody, but be honest with yourself. Talk to your upline. Tell them what your goals are. Talk about strategies to get there, and you'll get there. You've got to just keep plugging along and not giving up. I mean, if you give up, then you definitely did just lose. And I don't want to lose.
You're not losing. You won 2 trips in 2020 plus the trip to Italy. So you're doing amazing. And I'm super proud of you. And I've had the honor of staying at Summer's house and Summer and Joby's house and meeting all their kids. After actually the last event in Texas, we drove over to Houston and she had a little meeting at her house. And so Summer, you're amazing. I'm so thankful that you're part of our team and that you took time away from everybody tonight. Please tell them all I said hi.
I will.
Thank you for sharing your story.